Welcome to my Seder table as we enter the curtain to the dining room. Let me explain. Here we've got the 7-branched menorah, which is a symbol of God's feasts, as well as the shofar, which we blow on holy days. Jesus is the Lion of Judah. And let's start here. On the 10th of Nisan, Jesus rode in on the colt of a donkey in the eastern gate, or the gate of grooms, just like the blood was sprinkled on the door of the Exodus with the lamb, and they shouted, Hosanna. Then we get the last meal where Jesus washed his disciples' feet and he had his Seder. Here we've got unleavened bread and the wine. And then we get Gethsemane, which was a garden, and just like in the Garden of Eden, Yeshua also prayed with his talit while Judas was ready to sell him for 30 pieces of silver, which was normally the price for a slave, a dead slave. And then if we go to the next one, this is Egypt, which correlates, and the 10 plagues of Egypt for every one of the demons that God vanquished in Egypt in the Exodus. And then we get the pillar of fire that God protected his people, and the sea that was split so that Moses could lead the Israelites out of Egypt. And they were on their way to the promised land where Moses would get the 10 commandments on the mountain that had fire. And then again, going down, we've got the crucifixion, where Jesus vanquished Satan and all his demons and sin for us. He was the Passover lamb. And then Yeshua rose on the 3rd day. And the 2 angels, just like the 2 angels that separated the Garden of Eden from humanity, and the same ones that were on the Ark of the Covenant, were at the foot base of where Jesus' body was laid. And we can also see the face cloth that was folded, which says that Jesus would return. And then the last one would be when Jesus rose up into heaven on the clouds, and that he said that he would return the same way as he left, and his feet will touch the Mount of Olives. So we can see here, we celebrate Passover, where Jesus was the lamb. And let's look at the Seder table. Here we've got our washing cup where we wash our hands. And here we've got the 4 cups, as well as a little cup that I represent here on the plagues. And I just gave a short little representation here of how a normal Seder table would look like, with the unleavened bread, the wine, and then all the elements of the Seder. And we read from the Bible, and we tell the story of the Exodus and the story of Yeshua, and we follow a specific format, which is the Haggadah. And since today is unleavened, start of unleavened bread tonight, and then after that we're also going to be counting the Omer, which we've got a counter to show us from when Jesus rose from the dead. So I hope you are going to have a blessed and wonderful Passover, and that God may bless you abundantly.